Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending upon where you live around the world. The total redraw models has moved along a little bit. Some decision making has to be made at some point, but that point is not now, and that is related to the hubs. I have moved them move them down into the surface in a hopefully standardized way. Not at all, I'm going to add, for the bottom ones. And that's that is the thing that I'll need to look at some point. I'm showing at this moment, just for this video, the hubs being included, the steel tubes being included, simply so that I can explain a little bit about the thinking around this particular, not this particular hub, but this particular approach. But I've recessed each part of the strut on each end, and what that is going to, the problems that are going to cause. You can hear the hesitation in my comments, but let's just have a look. We've got the over battens, something that may be required in some people's models, and I haven't done anything other than add them from a different version of this model. Whoop, don't want to do that either. They will, by necessity, have to overhang, cantilever over the rebate that has been created for the actual plate itself and or the heads of the bolts. Maybe. On top is probably a little bit less required. It's all going to depend on individuals' requirements for fixing. My suggestion was that, and let's just get rid of the over battens for now. Haven't got the under battens on this model. My suggestion was in fact, we'll get rid of the center hubs as well for just now. They'll come back into this video. The top plate, tabbed plate, could well be screwed only. Good, solid, long, well-designed wood screws. Good quality ones would be necessary for my peace of mind. But they may not have a bolt at all. So therefore there is no great requirement to have them recessed quite as much, and no allowance needed for the bolt underneath the batten, besides which the batten itself can be somewhat recessed to accommodate any protrusion should that occur. So that's one thing. Underneath, I believe the use of the mushroom head or round head coach bolts would be the fixing of choice. It's got a lower profile, so the amount of bolt, the head of the bolt sticking down, would be reduced, meaning it's a much, much nicer visual impact for the dome, and the under battens could well cover them anyway. So the underside is a little bit more critical, but is still something I haven't really optimized for how much we are going to recess the individual plate. So we'll have to accept that for just now. The center hub creates a possibility where it becomes a very, very versatile, this whole assembly becomes a very, very versatile hub, allowing for much bigger domes to be made. If you were to, as a suggestion, weld everything together, this becomes a hugely strong hub, and well, it can be. Yeah, I'm all over the place this morning. Don't think I've had enough cups of tea. The other possibility was to have a double plate on the bottom. If we wanted to up the strength of this hub assembly, without going to the steel tube side of things, we could actually just layer, let's just do that now. We could layer 2 plates or 2 tab plates together, effectively, but not quite, but effectively making a 6mm thick plate. Now that's going to resist a lot of forces, and in this combination, where I would always have especially this joint and the one down, these ones here, top of the leg, as I've been calling it, this joint would have a top and bottom plate. That stabilizes the joint, makes it very, very strong, and, well, it's probably what I would want to go with to alleviate my paranoia. It could be that you could just go with the bottom plate or a double bottom plate if that's what your look required, and I think that's a really, really good way of going. Cutting 6mm steel plate and bending it to the required angle, you probably would be start to look at, well, what would the process be? And I'd be thinking along a hydraulic press or some such if you wanted to do that. I don't know. I don't work in metal. I work in wood, but I have worked in enough metal that, past 3mm, it's starting to get quite stout. And, in the woodworking workshop, we may not have the resources, the size, vices, etc., suitable for this. I don't know. That's becoming a bit of a hoary old comment, but it's literally I don't know, because it's not a quantifiable thing by me. If it's outside my wheelhouse, I'm going to say that to you. It's up to you to figure out whether it's something that you want to even contemplate. However, 2 3mm plates, more than doable in the average woodworking workshop, I would suggest. So there's all of that to consider. So back to there. I'm actually liking what I am seeing. I'm trying to introduce. This is something that it's sobering. Let's just get rid of those and those, and you get to see the numerous plates that would be required for a dome if you were going to put a top and bottom plate on. You could get rid of the top plate on some of the joins. Probably wise in a lot of ways. At least on your efforts out in the workshop, it would be wise. But it does show you the number of components required. Thing is, you etch them out onto a piece of metal, then you just start doing them, and when it's like you don't have to do them all in one go. Spread them out over a period of time, and you're done. They can be stacked. I would suggest each one of them would be left blank, or you make a decision which one you're going to drill. You could drill it while it was still flat before you bend them, and then upon your decision of how many you want or where it's going to be, you can drill the other tabs. If I wasn't making myself clear, I'll do so now. The holes don't line up if you make one template. The lines for this bolt here come through at this point here. It's about 25 away. It's got a lot to do with how much separation there is in the 2 plates, and they're not always going to be the same. So you've got to be a little bit mindful of that. And if I decide to alter the hubs, the tabs, to take a bolt all the way through, this is when you would start to look at it. And once you have actually decided how much, let's bring these back in, how much you are rebating. The more you rebate each way, the smaller the, of course, this is obvious, the smaller this gets, but that's left, and that alters where the line goes, what will generate. So there's a little bit of consideration there. Of course, you can't leave the bolt here and put it there because it would start to come out your timber. The question is, and I posed it to myself, if this timber is cut at an angle, is there a possibility of having it square? Well, the answer is yes, but then you can't have the centre hub because it won't push up against it because its strut is square. So obviously, while you can cut them square, affording you a little bit more material to bolt through, you won't be able to have the struts push up against the hub should you decide, the steel tube, should you decide to include that as a strengthening choice. So, no. The other thing that the struts cut at an angle do is it tells you where the registration point is, and it's right at the fold line of the plate here. So top and bottom, you'll come down and you'll align things to your fold line. Remembering this will be solid, not a gap, of course, but it'll be within a mil or so correct at the bottom, and it is correct at the top, depending upon how you fold or bend your strut, your tab or your strut. So yeah, there's those sorts of considerations. I've gone through a couple of them in my own mind, and I thought, oh, got to be careful there. Oh, how do I do that? And I realised quickly that not so bad. The other thing that can be done, which is well, the reason I want the tube to be a consideration is, as I've said in other videos, the stresses, the loads, the force, the paths. If it comes down the strut and into and onto the steel tube, then it helps take the load away from the fixings or the tabbed plate itself. More and less, depending on how it all comes together. But it's stronger by its inclusion. It's not weak because of its removal. It's just that it's stronger because of its inclusion. So wording it that way. The thing is, you may, don't know why you would, but probably makes a certain amount of sense, you may decide to just go with a bottom plate, tabbed plate, and a tube, and forgo the plate on top. Oh, can you do that? The answer is yes, you can. You fix like you want to in the for the bottom plate. You insert this in place, and you can fix through the walls of the hub into the struts. You may decide to make the ring a lot shorter, and because it's not required down here because you can't get the fixings. Just suggestion. But it's one of those things, it's included at the moment simply because it's a possibility. But reality is most of the domes, especially this size, probably wouldn't require that additional strength. But 6 by 6 meters, it's still a good sized dome. Get bigger than that, well, you might want to start considering what you do here, and of course reconsider what size timbers you're using. Lots of imponderables because everyone is different. Righty ho. What else are we going to do? Not a lot. No, that'll do. We'll keep it reasonably short. This will be the next in the long list of videos of the total redraw. So this will be possibly number 6 in that series. I'm not sure where we'll go from here. I will do a little bit of work with the infill framing in these corners here, each of the corners. But that's more of a side journey. This is the main area of concentration. The other thing that we may consider doing is having a look at a rigid cladding for the top of the dome and see what impact that has, either with or without the over battens, preferably with, because the over battens will have the dihedral angles cut into them. Well, they will do eventually, if you want to put rigid cladding on. If you don't want to put rigid cladding on, you don't have to worry about dihedral angles, and possibly don't even have to worry about the over battens. So a fabric like the tarpaulin type of or plastics could be formed and draped over this sort of dome. Individual triangles could be created and fixed to the dome. So that's possible. I saw one like that just recently, and I thought, well, how the heck did they fix the individual triangles? And they had little tabs on the individual triangles that they'd made up, and they just screwed them on. I thought, well, that was an easy answer. That was including the polycarbonate covered frame and the solid frame. So yeah, very, very possible. What else? Openings we could consider. It's not something I'm considering, but you could have openings in the top here. Yeah, something that I probably wouldn't be looking at in my modelling at this stage. Righty ho. Well, that'll be it. That's keep it reasonably short. It's good where we're going. We're at that stage now where these other considerations can be entertained. So, righty ho. I'm off out to the workshop to do a little bit out there, and I will catch you in the next video. Righty ho. See you later now. Bye.